Hello everyone, I welcome you all to yet another edition of our Thoughtful Leadership series on collegedunia.com. Today we have a very special guest from the KIT deemed to be University in Odisha. A popular blogger, a voracious speaker, spoke in more than 200 academic forums as chairperson, keynote speaker, guest lecturer, faculty development programs, etc., who is presently working as the Pro Vice Chancellor of the university and is going to share her thoughts and views on the education industry. Professor Sasmita Rani Samanta, a very warm welcome to you, madam.
Thank you. Thank you, Ais.
Yeah. So before starting with the interview, I would like to introduce Professor Samanta a little bit. So here goes. Professor Rani Samanta, Fellow of Royal Society of Arts. She is a Fellow of Computer Society of India, currently serving as a full Professor of Commerce and Management and Pro Vice Chancellor, KIT deemed to be University in India. She has received 25 number of awards from different national and international organizations for her outstanding contribution to the field of education and leadership. She is a perceptive academician and popular teacher in the field of organizational behavior and leadership, and her major area of research and applications are particularly in the field of human development, education, business management, entrepreneurship, leadership, etc. She has attended the faculty development program in IIM Bangalore, contributed substantially for different professional bodies of the country, that is Indian Science Congress, Indian Academic of Social Sciences, Indian Commerce Association, Odisha Commerce Association, etc., as member of executive committee for several years. She has been appointed as academic ambassador of World Educational Services and accreditation ambassador of University Grants Commission Paramarsh scheme. Her academic cognition has been mellowing day by day, both in academics and research, out of shouldering the core for the last 2 decades in different competence of the academic institution. And she has published about 30 research articles, and she has conducted number of faculty induction program and academic leadership program in association with the government of Odisha. She is the executive editor of Indian Commerce Journal since 2018, and presently she is the president Indian Commerce Association and in Odisha Commerce Association, involved in different social outreach program of KIT University, especially in Kanya Kiran, which is actually violence against the girl children. And she's also associated in occupational safety and health and driving the initiative of education for all. And the list of achievements that she has is never ending. So very warm welcome to you, ma'am, and we shall start with the interview. So if I start with the interview, the first question I have is, ma'am, you have been associated with the education industry from a very long time. So please tell us about your experience in education industry and what makes it the best industry to be associated with.
Actually, I joined KIIT just after completion of my education in university. And after completion of education in university, when the youngsters normally they dream for the job, and I joined KIIT. And I can say that the thing which attached me to KIIT is that just I started my career in KIIT with the KIIT itself, because the first engineering college, we all know that the KIIT started with engineering and management institution. The engineering institution of KIIT started in 1997, and just before that, while the initiatives were being taken to start the institution, then only I joined. And after that, we all got attached to KIIT because the growth was enormous. And when the institutional growth was enormous, it happens with everybody that the people those who are associated with this, then they also grow automatically. And another thing which attached me to the education industry is that I personally realized perhaps education is the only industry where we contribute and we can see the visible impact on the people. And KIIT is not only one academic institution which teach the students in the classroom and create the impact, it is also associated with lots of social initiative. Normally, each of the individual in this globe, they are having some type of aspiration to affiliate themselves to some social initiatives. And here, each one of the family member in KIIT, they get ample scope to to experiment their talents in different social initiative and to get connected to that. So being the vision of KIIT and KISS as defined from very beginning by our honorable founder, Professor Dr. Achyutananda Samanta, as a very broad concept that providing services to the human being. So we all those who are in KIIT got affiliated to that, and we own that concept and that purpose by ourselves. So it motivated me to be in education industry.
Yes, ma'am, that's actually very inspiring, and obviously we have seen KIT grow every year, and adding feather to its cap, and the landmark of achievement is actually very vast. So, since you are associated with a lot of groups, ma'am, now like we have introduced you and all the achievements that you have currently, I wanted to know that being the Pro Vice Chancellor of KIT University, what is your philosophy of leadership, and how would you describe your leadership style?
As I said that I am associated with KIIT since very beginning. The lots of initiatives have been instituted in KIIT under my leadership, and the basic concept of leadership that I understand, that the leadership is the responsibility to contribute for the growth and success of others. If as a leader you are creating the platform, as such the people those who are working with you, they are contributing and they are growing, then everybody accepts you as a successful leader. So I very much believe in leadership with humanitarian attitude and also the participative leadership. And very much I believe and I ensure that the human dignity is maintained and self-esteem of each and every individual those who are working with you, that is protected. And if that is happening in anywhere in leadership, I think that everybody those who work with you, not only they feel confident, but also they enjoy working with you.
Fine, ma'am. So, moving to our next question, ma'am, since we have seen KIT University grow every year, I wanted to know that if you have faced any significant challenges handling the responsibilities in the institute, and how do you motivate your team for the continuous growth and enhancement?
I can say that initially we faced lots of challenges, starting from the challenges from statutory authorities to the challenges of instituting different policies, processes, and also driving through that. And one of the example, very interesting example, I would like to say that after conferment of Deemed University to KIIT, then Government of India decided that all the Deemed Universities can conduct their own entrance examination. So I was appointed as the first director of admission for KIIT. Then we conducted the entrance examination for 15,000 students in 2005, and it was conducted online for the first time in the country. In 2005, the online entrance examination happened. The students appeared the entrance examination, and normally what happened, as per our experience, when the entrance examination is conducted, the students are called to the counseling. So what we did, we called around 10 times students as per our availability of the seats, because that we experienced that in Odisha JEE or in any central counseling, and we have also read in the book in management that whenever according to your seat you should call 10 times the candidates of 10 times. Then only whenever the candidates are reporting, then you will be in a very comfortable position to get the sufficient number of candidates. But I remember that on the day of counseling, while I reached in the campus, we could find thousands of people in that venue. When I was having around 300 plus seats, I don't remember the exact number, but the reporting was around 2,000. So people are shouting everywhere. Then they didn't have sufficient space because we expected maximum 5,000 students will be coming, and whenever the choice branch will be over, then others will go back. Normally it happens if computer science is not there, telecommunication is not there, and then civil is there or something else there, then students go back if they are not getting the choice branch of themselves. So what we did, when I found 2,000 people roaming here and there, and I found 3-4 media people are also there, I was very much confused what to do. during that time KIT was also too young, and we all were too young, and we didn't have that much of experience to handle with the situation. Then I found two reporter. They came to me, asked several questions. Why did you call so many people? Being the director of admission, please answer our question, this and that. Then eventually we could manage the crowd. The counseling was over, and I have to come back to my residence. But in the next day, what we found in the media, the things have just changed. Of course, I had given some interviews, something happened, our founder also gave some interview, that happened. But things have changed, means in the media it was being told that there is huge demand for admission in KIT University. While they expect 500 people, 2,000 people have reported. So that sort of experience, perhaps that was the first time for all of us. I was also too young, and I was thinking, anyway, it has gone positive in our favor. And apart from that, when the organization grows, lots of challenges come in the way. That sometimes it becomes administrative, sometimes it becomes internal, external, all types of challenges come in the way. And we are very much happy that only in very few years, only in 23 years, KIT starting as an engineering institution in 97, it has reached the level of Institute of Eminence, which has been recognized by Ministry of Human Resource Development, Government of India recently. And I can say that excellence has no limit. Of course, excellence has no limit. But one thing today we all are realizing, that while KIT started and we all started the organization, no one in KIT family ever have felt the struggle for the survival. Since very beginning, if you keenly observe the growth of KIT and involvement in different social activities, sometimes our founder says we have to fight against poverty. Sometimes he says we have to fight against illiteracy. So when that fight was converted to success and we came to a level where KIT is today, we think that perhaps we got a leader like Professor Samanta, and he could drive all of us to this level. So it's a matter of pride for each one of the family member of KIT today.
Nice, ma'am. Nice to hear this. Moving to my next question, that I wanted to know, what, according to you, do you find the USPs of the curriculum of the college? What are the USPs that you feel?
Yes. Ajay said that KIT started with the engineering institution, but today KIT is one multidisciplinary university where KIT runs around 200 programs in undergraduate and postgraduate level, and also in the research level. So while KIT has grown in a multidisciplinary environment, the USP of KIT always in curriculum is providing opportunities to the students not only to stick to the department, but also to learn the curriculum which is very much applicable to the society and industries. So because of that, in KIT, a very flexible system has been developed. A student who is doing, suppose a person is doing courses in law, courses in engineering, they have to do certain courses in their respective discipline. Apart from that, they have to take some courses from other school. In an open elective system, each one of the student has to take minimum 12 credit from other school. Suppose a student of computer science who is interested in applying his computer science knowledge in healthcare sector, particularly in neuroscience. Now I interacted with few students, 4 or 5 students which are working in the area of developing application for the healthcare and particularly neuroscience department. They are taking courses from neuroscience department in KIMS. And the students those are interested to develop the solution in the human rights area, they are taking courses from School of Law. So that sort of flexibility has been developed. Second is that the curriculum of KIT in last 23 years has been revised regularly with the input from the experts from different premier institutions in the country and also from the outside, which has given us the confidence that this is the best curriculum for all the students. It's because if you see the employability skill of the students of this university, it is always in more than 90% in campus. More than 90% students in campus, they are getting placement. That means our curriculum must be best. And around 700 students every year from KIT campus are going abroad for higher studies, even in Oxford, Cambridge, even different international universities in USA, that can be University of Massachusetts, University, even in Harvard and other good universities of the world, and it shows that our curriculum is matching to the international standard. And third best thing we are trying to develop now in curriculum, we are trying to use our multidisciplinary scenario very effectively. That now we are trying to offer the major minor to all the students. Anyone is going to do the undergraduate program, they have to do one and very much keen to develop his skill in his particular field of expertise. Then there is the openness to do honors in that subject. He can take, instead of minor, he can take some more courses, advanced courses or post-graduation level courses in that area, and he can get the honors in that subject. And third is that if anyone is interested to do dual major, one, suppose somebody is in computer science, he wants to do major in computer science and he wants to do major in human rights, he can go for dual majors. But we have kept some qualification criteria in that. If the student is doing very good in academics, he is getting good CGPA, 8.0, 8.5 or 9 CGPA, then they can go for the two majors concept or the honors subject. So that sort of flexibility also has been developed in the system. Third is that we are very closely working with the industries. The KIIT has instituted industry electives and the societal elective in almost all the courses. In engineering, in all the schools, some courses are being offered by some industries, some courses in association with some industries. We started with working with industries with IBM. We are guiding our MTech students in project concept. We are working with Tata Steel for projects. Now we are working with Tech Mahindra. We are working with Simplex. Those industries, the people from those industries are coming to the campus, staying in the campus for 2 to 3 months. They are teaching the students and going back. Other concept is that they are training our own faculties. Industry people are training our own faculties, and faculties are helping them in delivering the curriculum. Not 10%, but around 40 to 50%. If those people are not able to be available in campus for always for 3 months or 4 months. And fourth one is that, as I said, KIIT is always associated with lots of social activities. What we do, we also offer some courses related to societies, like for our School of Rural Management students, for the students of community development, those students have to spend around 3 months every year in the rural areas itself. They have to go there, they have to stay there, they have to do the surveys, they have to make the analysis, they have to make the reports and submit it. So in that way, our curriculum has been designed in such a way, anyone is interested for the creating social impact, they can take the courses from the courses of social relevance. Those are interested to make their career, to go to the industries, they can take the industry electives. The students, those who are interested to take the course to make their career in healthcare sector, they can take the projects from healthcare sector. So we have made a very dynamic course curriculum, which is the strength of KIIT University, and we are having that opportunity because we offer 200 courses in campus. We are having faculties from all the courses, we are having students from all the courses. And after this pandemic, what we have done, and before that also started that initiative, but this corona has forced most of the premier institutions to go for edutech solutions. We have tied up with Coursera, we have tied up with Swayam, we have tied up with MOOCs to use their platform for the students. Suppose I am having the faculties in artificial intelligence and IoT, maybe I am having 2 faculties, but I need more 5-6 faculties in this area. And not only IoT and AI, we also go to the level that the AI, application of AI in civil engineering, application of AI in legal services. So getting faculties in all those niche area in campus sometimes becomes very difficult. So while for that we have tied up with those edutech industries, as such those niche courses offered by different edutech industries like Coursera or Swayam or NPTEL in India. So the students can take courses from there, and that courses can be taken as the equivalence in their curriculum itself, and that credit is transferred. And fourth is that we are also offering, giving flexibility to the students to go abroad. They can stay, they are going around 500 students every year are going abroad. They're taking courses from different international universities, and that credit is being transferred here to KIT University. So in that way, our curriculum is very flexible, and I can say that it's one of the foolproof curriculum. Till now, it has been proved as one of the best, and that shows the employability and academic placement of students. Every year, if 700 students from one university campus is going abroad for the higher studies in the premier institution, that shows that our curriculum must be very good to match to the standard.
Yes, ma'am. The whatever you have said, it was actually very descriptive. You have given almost the most part is covered. Actually, it was very descriptive about how exactly the curriculum of KIT University is working currently. So, moving to the next question. Actually, this is especially for the students who will be watching this. So, the question is actually, what according to you is an ideal school environment and culture? And what exactly are the qualities that a student must possess, according to you, to become a successful leader in their future? What exactly are the qualities that a student must possess, and what are the ideal the school environment that you, according to you, what exactly it is?
According to my thoughts in education and being in education industry for such a long time, I firmly believe, actually after pandemic, while we discussed that whether after pandemic the educational institution physical infrastructure will go back and the students will be learning only online, they'll be very much interested for that. But while discussing on this debate in different forum, I could realize that the education system of this globe has been very scientifically designed. While we think about education, while we think about knowledge, we think that nature is the source of knowledge and society provides the environment, and the human beings apply that knowledge in the societal environment to learn the subject. And while we are connected to the environment, then only we can realize and experience that knowledge. Apart from the societal connection, without the connection to the nature, no education system can learn. So the academic institutions are designed in such a way that inside the classroom, we get the people from different strata. They are from different countries. Suppose take the example of KIT, we are having students from 50 countries. They get the students in the classroom from different nationality. They get the students in the classroom from different states of the country who are having different culture, they are having different habits. And while a student is learning a subject in that sort of ambience and environment, they get the opportunity to experiment their knowledge in their peers. While they discuss with their peers, while they work with their peers in the practical and on different problem, then they experiment their knowledge, and whenever they find that whatever they are learned, when they are experiencing with the peer, they are getting success, then it builds up the confidence that yes, whatever I have learned, whatever I am communicating to the others, that's correct. Now, which is being recognized, which is being appreciated by my peers. That builds up slowly the confidence, which give the confidence to the students to grow in different fields of academics. And coming to the student, what you are saying that what students should do, I was working on skill development and discussing with lots of industrialists and the people those who work in industries several times. And while they are talking about skilling and reskilling, and while the academician like me, those who are in the other side of the table, always the industries complain that the students, those who are coming out from the Indian industries, they have to be skilled, or sometimes they say that they have to be reskilled again as per the industry requirement. But if you see the industry requirement today, we all realize and we all feel that the technologies are creating disruptions in the world in a very regular interval. That interval previously was 1 year to 3 years, but now in every 3 months, every 6 months, we get new technology in my phone, in our television system, in different forums. And this human race is now driven by the technology. And if technology is changing in such a fast rate, if we talk about reskilling, how many times a person will be reskilled? Then one skill each and every student has to develop in any academic institution, that's the skill of learning. If they are properly connected to the requirement, to the necessity of the society through different outreach program, then only they evolve with a system. As such, they can learn by themselves that as per the changes in aspiration, how they will be changing themselves, because nothing changes much faster rate than the brain of a human being. If they are able to connect themselves with that, then and learn the skill of learning, a student, if he or she is learning the skill of learning, then automatically when the technology is changing, or they can change themselves.
Yes, ma'am. So, if I move towards to the next question, how do you look to build a healthy relationship with the students? How do you manage to do that?
KIT is a campus with 30,000 students from different backgrounds from all over the world. And in KISS, we are having 30,000 tribal students. So KIT and KISS campus, everybody knows that it's functioning in a very integrated way. They come to KIT to learn different advanced skill. We go to KISS, we take it as a social laboratory. The students take it as a social laboratory, or faculties take it as a social laboratory to learn different social requirements, its impact, and we make the assessment there. So we work in a different integrated way. And we have developed the culture of student-centric campus since very beginning. As you know, the growth of KIT, as I said, that it's too fast. But with the growth of KIT, we have never felt that something is left out from this organization which is not seen properly. And I always tell to my students, now we have developed a system after our number reached at 30,000, that even the head of the organization, like our honorable founder, vice chancellor, myself, and all the university leadership, we interact with each one of the students at least once in a semester. We have developed a system of Chai Pe Charcha, where 60 to 120 students, they sit at any place, maybe in the Rose Garden of KIT, maybe in the lawn of KIT, maybe sometimes in the classroom or in the conference hall, as per the ambience and environment. Then we discuss on different requirement of the students, their aspiration from academics and kid. We also discuss on different issues, that if we are discussing with the senior students, we try to discuss with them how curriculum is appealing them, how the curriculum delivery process, the activities designed in the campus, how it is helping them to grow in their academics, and what type of modification they want. So in that way, a very student-centric system has been developed in KIT, and because the aspiration of the students, their feedback, their dreams are always the input for KIT. So always we say that always each one of the family member of KIT, they say that students are the supreme in the campus. Maybe because of that, till now, the student and the university relationship perhaps is one of the best. While people ask us, how do we manage 30,000 students in campus? We always say that because we don't manage anyone. All are passionately motivated to be connected with the purpose of the university. So for that, all of us are managed automatically.
Yes, ma'am. This brings to the next question. Being an important dignitary of KIT University, how do you look at the growth of the students through placement opportunities available, and how do you wish to push the placement envelope further?
Yeah, before 6-7 years, for the students in the university, the corporate placement was only option for any educational institution or the services to be provided to the students after completion of academics. But today the scenario has changed. Each group of students or each individual student is having different aspiration. Someone who is coming to do undergraduate studies like engineering, maybe 60% of them, they plan to go for doing higher studies abroad. Some students want to go for the corporate placement. And some students, they want to make their career in research and innovation. Some students want to make their career in social work. So there are different groups of students now available in campus. Now other group of students, we are finding that number is increasing day by day, and it's perhaps now it has reached perhaps in the highest level, that most of the students in the university campus nowadays, they are planning to go for some sort of entrepreneurial activities. Though most of them ask for the corporate placement, while they leave the institution, they should have one placement with them. But I see that maybe 30% of them, they back out and they pursue their career in a different line. Either they go for entrepreneurship, higher studies, as I said, or something else. So for that, in any academic institution, now a very diversified opportunities are being explored. In KIT also it has been done. We also plan for the academic placement. Every year we call the people, education officer from different embassies of UK, Europe, China, Taiwan, and also the education experts of different institutions and the statutory bodies of this country to talk to the students and to guide them how to make their career plan. And different e-platforms are also being provided to the students as such they can experiment on their own ideas. We have tied up with some industries, those who are providing the platform to the students to make them feel that where their strength lies and where they should make their career. If they are very good in coding, if they are very good in doing programming, they can make their career in programming itself. If they are very good in applying some social concept, they can do good in social enterprises. So that's at a platform also we have provided to our students, and we are having different category of people, different group of faculty members, different group of experts in different field, those who motivate the students to bank up on their strengths and make their career academic.
Okay, ma'am. So, if obviously we are having a very good, we are getting a good insights of KIT University right now, but we have come to the second last question of this interview. That what are the goals you have in your mind for KIT University for the next few years? What are your plannings?
Yes. As I said, KIT has grown in a very fast rate, and we have been recognized as one of the premier institution of the country. But after that, I think responsibility of the university has grown in many fold. Whenever the students and public, they are coming across the university, their aspiration is also increasing very high. Not only for academics, but its quality, and also to be engaged in different opportunities available in different international universities, where the government of India is saying that they are projecting Institute of Eminence as the world-class universities. So whatever today the students are very exposed. So while they are very much informed about the international universities, those who are working in the globe, so they are also expecting that they will be getting that sort of facilities, avenues, opportunities in the university campus itself. Not only in teaching learning system, but also in research, in innovation, in being involved in entrepreneurial activities, and they think that they will be getting support from the university itself. And to support that, lots of platforms have been developed in KIT. As I said, we are having a very good technology business incubation center, good entrepreneurship cell, where the students are being guided, motivated to focus on their talents, and they are being guided how the technology developed by them can be transformed to business. How the technology developed by them in the labs itself, that can be applied in the society. The Translational Research Center, they guide the students accordingly. And the focus of the university, particularly now, we are going to focus more and more on research of social relevance. So we have established on central research facilities for the faculties and students of all the program across the university, where they will be working on different social issues, and we have taken 4 disciplines initially as the focus of our development. One is water, second is rare earth, third is healthcare technology, fourth is sustainability and equity models. So those 4 areas we have identified initially to focus on high-end research. So in that central research laboratory, 200 faculty members have been employed, and with number of students, where they are working on different social relevance issues. Of course, now the KIT is engaged in different social relevance issues, starting from malaria, tuberculosis, rare earth, water, material management, different issues we are engaged directly, but we want to now consolidate it and to we want to motivate our students to do a much better job, which will create lots of impact in the society or may benefit many people in the society. So that sort of ambience is being developed, and KIIT is known for providing the best resources to its students. And slowly, apart from subscribing the e-resources and content from the outside, KIIT is focusing on developing its own academic and research content in the university campus and contribute more and more to the knowledge base of the world. So that lots of initiatives. And recently, we are also planning to offer many online courses, because we find that in this country there is lot of online courses. Normally the people, those who are working in industries, the professionals, they don't get scope to increase their potential through different certification courses. So lots of online certification courses are also being designed by the university.
So there's a lot to come in the next few years.
Maybe in next 1 year, that's the plan. 6 months
Nice
to 1 year, it will come.
Yeah, so moving to our last question, ma'am, that if you have any suggestions to give to the current youth and aspiring students, then please go on with that.
Yeah, in this pandemic time, I find that, of course, I also get lots of requests from my students that we are isolated at home, we are not able to do anything. But I find that this pandemic has brought lots of changes in our lifestyle and also provided us the new opportunities to be connected to the globe. Maybe previously it was very difficult for us to host the international conferences, international dialogues. But today, because of this corona, it has become very easy. We have explored the opportunities that in Zoom, in Google Meet, or any other platform, the people from around the globe, they are coming and discussing. So those challenges have created those opportunities. So students, they should learn from this pandemic. And as I said, that the learning skill and getting motivation to be connected to the knowledge, I hope that will help them to learn a lot and to become successful in their career. This country, of course, till now we are very much requiring the good professionals in different fields. But today this country needs leaders in every field. And I believe that this generation students, they are very much confident and they are very much connected to the world. And that confidence, that exposure, that connection will make you the leaders to take this country to the next level. Today you can see that in the media, whole world is saying that India is the best place to shift our industries, to do different entrepreneurial activities, to be connected to experiment different new things. I hope that each one of you should see, according to your strength, should explore the opportunities, how you can fit best and take the decision on that and become successful in your life. Thank you. Thank you, Aditi.
Ma'am, yes, ma'am. Thank you so much for addressing everybody, all the viewers, and sharing all the insights on our platform. It's an honor for us and a great privilege to have you with us on this platform. And for all the viewers who are actually watching this interview, especially the students, obviously will have a lot to take away from this discussion that we have. And for more information on KIT University, its admission, its placement, it's all the informations are, you can directly visit their website, or you can also log into collegedunia.com and find all the information over there, all updated. So thank you so much, ma'am. It was a pleasure having you.
Thank you all.
Yes.